association will appreciate this.
We are having trouble hearing you.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Abbas, let's try that again.
Okay. I said thank you so much for having me on this program.
All right. Just give us a minute. Let's see what's going on with Abbas' microphone.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Abbas, can you try again? We're not hearing you.
Can you hear me now? I'm trying to.
Okay. All right. That's Abbas, you're good. I can hear you now.
Okay.
All right. Abbas, welcome to Focus on Liberia. And
I appreciate you having me on this program.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. And for those of you in TV land, we say this is Focus on Liberia, and we are discussing Liberian organizations and their upcoming events. Before we dive into it, this is in commemoration of Liberia's 171st Independence Day. So I thought before we could start, I should play you something about Liberia for all our listeners to see and our viewers. I want to run you through a short timeline of historical events in Liberia, and I want you to enjoy that. All right. That's a brief. We're going to run through a little bit of Liberian events in Liberia, starting from before the arrivals of the Dutch traders. All right, welcome back to Focus on Liberia, and we're discussing Liberian organizations and their upcoming events. With me, I have the president of the University of Liberia Alumni Association, Melvin. Welcome to Focus on Liberia, and let's have a briefly introduce yourself if you don't mind.
Thank you, Dennis, and again, thanks for the opportunity. I want to say a big thank you to the management staff of your All News All, and I do appreciate the level of work you guys are doing for our country, far away. So, by the way of introduction, my name is Melvin Howard. The D stands for Datu. I am the current national president of the University of Liberia Alumni Association in the Americas, and I'm based in the state of Rhode Island. Well, so far, so good.
All right. Let's go to Madam Abbas Mason from the Episcopal Elementary, Junior, and Senior High School Alumni Association.
Hi, everyone. My name is Abbas Mason. I'm a member of the Episcopal High School and the Episcopal Elementary School Alumni Association. And I thank you all so much for having me on your show.
Abbas, where is the Episcopal Elementary and High School? Where is it located? Tell me a little bit about that school.
This school is located in Robertsport, Grand Cape May County. Most people consider it as House of Bethany or St. John's. But this school is has been in that county for years, since when Liberia was started.
All right. Now you have an association. Tell me a little brief overview of your organization here in the U.S.
The association was started in 2000 by the Alumni Association, and the first program we had was here in Atlanta, Georgia. We started this program because we're trying to help the other children that are coming behind us, to help them to get a good education and to provide for them as best as we can. We try to get them fix the buildings because of the war. A lot of the buildings were destroyed. So now we're trying to replace roofs, trying to get teachers so that the kids can get a very good education and become distinguished people after they have left that school.
Yeah, that's impressive. Again, if you are just joining us, welcome to Focus on Liberia. We are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. Today, we are discussing the various some Liberian organizations and their upcoming events. In our first segment, we are having as guests from the University of Liberia Student Alumni Association and also from the Episcopal Elementary and High School Alumni Associations. In our second segment, we'll be bringing you the state organizations, some state organizations, including our own Liberian Association of Metropolitan Atlanta. Their leaders will come to and give an overview of their organizations and all the events that have been planned for this year's July 26th. Let's go to you, Melvin. Tell us a brief background of the University of Liberia Alumni Association.
Thank you, Dennis. First of all, again, I want to say happy 26th.
My 26th on you, Melvin.
Okay, yeah, I'll send it to you. I mean, you beat me to that. I want to say happy 26th to all Liberians here, back home, and in other parts of the world. I think our independence means a lot to us, and it's so sad that some of us fly away from home. We can be part of the celebration. But however, we trust and pray that our people back home will have a good July 20th celebration, and there are better days ahead for our beloved country. So the University of Liberia Alumni Association, I mean, the name speaks for itself. This organization is comprised of all former students, graduates of the University of Liberia residing in the United States. And this organization been around for some good number of years. But for me, I took over in October of 2016. So I just been like 1.5 years into this leadership. But it is a vibrant organization, and the goal here is to see how best we as former students and graduates of the University of Liberia can give back to our beloved alma mater, the school that helped to make all of us who we are today in society. So we, again, don't want to say the new kid on the block, but we know there have been other alumni associations that been in existence before us, but notwithstanding, we are getting there. And I tell people, what all we do here, it is good to criticize, but criticizing, you should have solution to the problem. Okay. So I look on Facebook, I listen to people. I mean, we all do criticize in the government. But the question I ask myself, what is the solution? What can we do? So you don't have to be in government, but through these various county organizations, these schools, Alumni Association can help to rebuild our country, can develop Liberia. And I was impressed recently when I saw the Nukutan Association dedicating a library in Nukutan. Mm-hmm. I mean, it beat my imagination because no one had a slightest idea that our library was going to ever be dedicated in Nukutan. But they did it. So if you have the folks from the Episcopal school, she is heading, doing one or two things in Cape Man. And we from the University of Liberia helping folks at the university, the folks from Cardinal, from BWI. So now if we want to criticize, at least we'll have some level of leverage to criticize and be part of the solution. But, you know, man by nature, we'll always criticize, we'll always talk. Well, as a leader, don't be deterred by that. As an organization, you move to see our best. So the goal of the University of Liberia Alumni Association is to give back to our alma mater. Recently, we honored some former professors and administrators in Providence. And we are the voice of initiating our scholarship program. Comes September the first semester. The goal here is to pay at least 50 students tuition to help them. So when we were at the University of Liberia, some of us never had opportunity for people to pay our school fee from this side. So these are things we are getting into. We want to do to make an impact back home, but not to just criticize and be on the fence, but no solution. But I can assure you the University of Liberia Alumni Association, yes, we do criticize, and we will come up with concrete solution that will help our people.
Good.
So this is the background. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Mason,
yes.
Why was this Alumni Association established? I know there are many others, but why was it established and what are you doing currently?
Our Alumni Association was established in 2000, and this was done in order to help our school, because during the war, a lot of the school was destroyed, and so we needed things done that the kids could get back in school and get educated. But as you know, we had to have teachers that were willing to teach these kids. And so we started this so we can.
All right, some technical hiccup there.
And to help these kids get in school. As so agree to go to the school and work if they're not getting paid.
All right.
So started this in order to be able to pay the teachers to fix the buildings, to fix the chemistry lab and the biology labs over there, and to do the different projects that will help to develop the school and help the kids get educated again.
Great.
Because they have been shut down, so we really have to work to get these kids back in school.
So who make up the membership of this organization?
The membership of the organization is made up of all alumni association of the Episcopal Elementary School and the Episcopal High School. Also, we have teachers, former teachers that went there as missionaries, and they came into Liberia to help us. They have also become members. We also have people who have donated to us that have also requested to become members so they can make sure that these kids get the best help that they can.
So like me, I graduated from Monrovia College. I've never been in Cape Mount. How can I become a member?
You can come to our meetings. You can listen to our meetings. If it's good suggestions from you, we can use to help our school. We encourage any of our friends that are interested to come and become part of this.
Good. Let me go back to you, Melvin. since you started LU, what have been some of the things, because your goal is to give back to your alma mater? What have you given back? What have you done? What are some of the activities to impact people here in the US and also back home in Liberia?
Well, Dennis, that's a great question. To be specific, we have not made our presence felt physically, back in Liberia. Let me retrospect a little. This Alumni Association has been around long before I took over the leadership. And prior to me taking over, things were not too okay, but notwithstanding, the post was still doing the best. So when we took over, the goal was for us the first year to re-awaken the spirit of this Alumni Association, because it was like just based in one area of this country, only in out of Philadelphia or Maryland, Rhode Island. But as I speak to you right now, we have pretty close to 10 chapters all throughout this country. So we have created the awareness both here and back in Liberia to let the world know that, look, we are former students, graduates, we still want to be part of the development process at the University of Liberia. So we have succeeded in creating that awareness and created a momentum for the University of Liberia Alumni Association in Americas. So comes October, we will be having our election for new code of officers. So the goal here is that we have identified projects that, by the help of Lord, next year will make our present fair physically. So let me just backtrack a little that LU, I think just recently, in this forum, I want to give a special thanks to President Dr. George Weah. He saw to it that the University of Liberia is not digitalized. So we don't have to go through the manual system where you have to do your control sheet, you go eye and drop. The system is not digitalized. Through his administration, when he took over, he said the first 100 days, part of his plan to make sure that the LU, the University of Liberia, registration process is digitalized. So I'm here in the States, I can go online and do my registration if I want to attend classes when I get home. So I want to say a big thank you to the president, through the kind effort of Samuel McGee, the Minister of Presidential Affairs, Samuel 12. So at least on that note, we can brag around. So for the Alumni Association, we have identified a couple of projects. One of our short-range projects we're working on right now. Can you imagine students graduating from the Science College cannot even do lab? So how you want to go out there in the outside world to compete with folks from this side that if that's who is a biologist or a major or chemist, you never did lab. So this administration right now, we undertaking a project to make sure that we ship 20 foot of laboratory equipment. The University of Liberia secured that equipment already, but it needs some assistant help. So right now, as I speak to you, that project is ongoing, and the goal by the end of this year, hopefully, the continent should be in Liberia with those laboratory equipment. And lastly, prior to the war, LU had the chorus, and they had the musical department. But information we got, for every graduation program, the University of Liberia has to rent out of the AFL marching band or the police band to go and run a selection in which they pay up to $2,500 United States dollars. So we are looking to that. We're trying to see if we can acquire a marching band set, send it to our school so we can cut down some of the problems. So to answer your question, we are making progress, and in a short, distant future, our president will be made fair. Thank you.
So, Abbas, let me come to you. What are some of the projects you're working on for your high school?
Right now, our biggest project we're working on is putting the roof on the buildings. On the school, there's school buildings and all that. And our next big project, also is paying the teachers. We're trying to get the teachers paid because we pay the teachers. We here in America, the Alumni Association in America, we have to pay the teachers. So we're trying to get the roof done, get the teachers paid, fix some of those buildings as much as we can, keep the lab, the chemistry lab going, and keep the kids focused as much as we can over there. We're having fundraisers. In fact, we have an event coming up, and I know we're going to get to that next.
Right. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about your upcoming event.
We have an upcoming event coming up the Labor Day weekend. We're having a program. We're having our meeting that Saturday morning, where we're going to have not only Alumni Association, but other people that have been connected with us, donors and all that. They are going to be our meeting, so they can help us and give us good encouragement of what really we need. Because our president, of the national president, just got back from Liberia, and he's going to present to us things that he found that very much needs our attention. So he's going to be there. We're going to also have a ball where we're selling tickets, and now you can buy your tickets and come and listen to us, and we can have fundraiser to help this school.
Right. So let's slowly tell me about this fundraiser and this event. Where is it going to be held? How much? Who can I talk to if I want to purchase ticket? Just lay it out there for me.
Okay, the event is going to be the fundraiser. That dinner and dance is going to be on September the 2nd at 7 in the evening at a hall on Lawrenceville Highway. It's 2399 Lawrenceville Highway. And the hall is called the La Fiesta Event Hall. And also that Sunday, we're going to have a cookout that you all can come also to.
Right. So who are the contact person? Who can I call to get more information?
Okay, you can call our president. Her name is Ellen Clement. Also, you can call me. I have tickets also. My phone number is 678-558-0891. Also, you can buy your tickets on our website, the EHSEES.com. You can go on there and buy your tickets. We have PayPal and everything on there. The
Great.
tickets are going for a single person is $20 and couple for $35.
Right. And the proceeds will go towards those projects that you listed. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Let's go to you, Melvin, and talk to me about your upcoming event. I think I have your flyer.
Right. So before we get to our upcoming event, I just want to announce this project that I just talk about, and just want to re-emphasize. We have agreed, the Alumni Association in the Americas, to help identify with our brothers and sisters at the Science College. So like I said, we have constituted a committee and they're coming with the fundraising plan. So I want to make a passionate appeal to all former students, graduates, even friends of the University of Liberia. Visit our webpage. We got a GoFundMe page have been set up. So all we asking of you, $20. That's it. If you want to do more, perfect. So with your $20, we'll be able to ship a continual load of laboratory supply equipments that worth $150,000 for our Science College. So I just want to make this appeal before we get to the convention. The convention is in October, but there's an urgent need for our Science College. Visit our website, www.ulibaaa.org. Make a contribution. Please, LU needs help. Let us be our brother's helper. So that for our urgent project that we have, and even to be that we ready to take care of ASAP. So like you already said, and according to the flyer, we having our TED convention in Georgia this year. So again, I'm appealing to all former students, graduates, even friends of the University of Liberia to come. Let us support our cause. And most people misinterpret a convention. It is not a place to go and dance and party all night. Yes, while it is true, we need to socialize, we need to meet, but we need to raise money. People looking at us to help them. We need to raise money by next year to go. This association will hit Monrovia Either way, be a groundbreaking ceremonies for our project, or we'll be cutting ribbon. So we have our project committee. They're going to identify 3 projects. When we go to our convention, every money generated from that convention will go to the project. It is time to take action and not too much of talking about LU. We know some of us have condemned LU because the situation they were in, after the war, but it is not too late. We can make LU to be great, and it will be great again. So October will be our convention. My last appeal, you know what LU has done for you. So I'm calling on folks back here and in Liberia. 75% to 80% of those in government from the University of Liberia. Please, you know what we did at 404. You know what we did on the Palava Hut. Let those remember to come back to you, that you can look at University of Liberia and make some contribution. With the effort from Liberia, and from here, we can help our school. So I'm appealing to my brothers and sisters. If you're in government, you're not in government, we are proud. LU made all of us. It is about time for us to rally around a school that stood for us and made us to be who we are today. So that's my appeal, and thanks for the opportunity, Dennis.
Thank you. Let me go back to you, Abe, so that you can give us your final thoughts and appeal. I know it's very hard to come up with these with funds, and you are depending on people to give money.
Yes, Dennis.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right now, most of our projects are through donations and our dues, and we, the members ourselves, paying and donating to this organization. We try to encourage our friends, and we are appealing to everyone. You see, education is something, it does not have to be from your school. You don't have to go to that school, but we have to help these kids. We have kids that need all the help they can. They want to go to school, but there's nowhere for them to go. And if we do not help them, their parents over there, as you know, with Liberia, their parents over there cannot afford some of this. So I'm appealing to all our members and former members. You know, even if you just went to the elementary school, you got some help from the Episcopal High School, and you got some help from the missionaries that went over there to help us. And as those people went over there to help us, let's try and help these other kids. We will appreciate every help that we can. Encourage your friends to come. Let's try and help them. Dennis, I appreciate you having me on this show, and I hope that what Melvin and I are talking about, people will understand and try to get together so we can work for the betterment of our children over there in Liberia. They need us. We got our education already. People help us. So let's please try to help these kids. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You know, the story is told of a king who had a banquet. You know, I'm a storyteller.
Oh,
so
yes.
The king had a banquet and told everybody to bring just one bottle of drink. So each of the people decided to say, well, this is king banquet. What my one bottle of drink going to do? So yes. They went there. So every member who went there did not carry drink. What they did not know was the king was the success of that party was depending on every participant or attendant carrying a bottle of drink. Yes. Guess what? He went there because everyone thought their bottle did not mean anything. It was minute. So they didn't go with drink. When they got there, there was no drink. And you tell me, Melvin, if you have a party without drink, what is that? So I want to agree with you that it is dependent on every one of us. Your little $10 or $20 can go a long way. But if we all decide, say, well, my $20 is too small, guess what? Episcopal High School or that school that is in Bokonjere or in Feasible is not going to get the much needed help. Melvin, your final words. Then we can go to our next segment.
Well, okay. I think I've said it all. And again, I want to say thank you for the opportunity. And I just want to always encourage the folks at the University of Liberia. We understand on a daily basis, I get called from the also leadership, from the administration. We do understand the situation. The entire country is tough on everybody. So LU is no exception. So we just asking them to exercise restraint You know, we know that better days are here, but we are working in the interest. For me personally, I don't sleep. Even today is my birthday. But because of this interview, I got some friends that visited me. I told them, you know what, I have to appear on this show to talk to my fellow colleagues from the University of Liberia, because that's so dear to my heart. So I just want to say that room wasn't built overnight. We know there will be tough times, but the better days are here for LU and for the entire country. So again, I want to say thank you for the opportunity, and I'm looking forward for any contribution from anybody. Whether your sister went to LU, your aunt went there, you call me, you can make your contribution, and you can rest assured every dime that you give us will be accounted for and will be spent for the intended purpose. So thank you, Dennis, and again, thanks to everybody that's listening in tonight.
All right, thank you so much. Abbas, you have 1 minute for your final comments. Then we can take leave of you.
Dennis, I want to tell you thank you for having us on this show. We appreciate all that will come. And Dennis, I'm expecting to see you at this function too.
All right.
And please let us work together for this betterment of our children in Liberia. Thank you again, and you have a blessed day.
You do the same. And thank you so much for honoring our invitation to come. We are hoping that your appearance on the show tonight will make at least one person or two persons to come and attend your event and also know about your organization. Thank you for all that you do for Mama Liberia. We appreciate it. And whatever we at Focus on Liberia can do to help in our own little way, rest assured we can do that. Thank you so much, and have a blessed night. Melvin, happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right. My 26 on you.
Okay, send a birthday gift. I'll send it 26, guys. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. All right. In our second segment, we're going to go to the Liberian associations right here in the States. We have a few of our friends who are part of this association. I see all the way from California, Bendu, Washington, and I see Wilton Kelter from the state of Connecticut. We are expecting two more, Dr. Sumo Harabasa from the Liberian Association of Metropolitan Atlanta, and also Mr. Abraham Tucker from Staten Island. So we're going to take a short break while our guests come. We're going to take a short break and stay put. We're going to be joining you shortly. My 26, oh. You can join now. If you are just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are discussing Liberian organizations and their upcoming events. My name is Dennis John, and we are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. This is our way of celebrating Liberia 171st Independence Day. Welcome, and don't forget, my 26.
to make sure nobody coming to the car try to stop me. Yes. Rebecca, how are you? I was see. I'm on the interview live. That's right. Hmm?
All right, welcome to Focus on Liberia. Now we have our state organizations joining us. All right, I have from California, the president of the Liberian Northern California, Bendu Washington. Bendu, welcome to Focus on Liberia. Bendu, if you can hear me, welcome to Focus on Liberia. Wilton, can you hear me? Dr. Sumo Basa, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you.
All right, you can hear me.
Yes.
Dr. Basa is the president of the Liberian Association of Metropolitan Atlanta. That's my home organization. We have Wilton Keta from Connecticut. Wilton, can you hear me? All right. We are also expecting Mr. Abraham Chiataka from Staten Island. He's going to be here anytime soon. Bendu from California, can you hear me? All right. Now we have Mr. Abraham Tucker. Abraham, welcome to Focus on Liberia. Abraham, can you hear me?
Will be passing, I'll be looking.
All right. All right. Please, Bendu, you can hear me. Abraham, can I hear me? Now, Bendu says something. Can you hear me?
Oh, now I hear you. Yeah.
All right. Now I see your. All right. Caton, I don't see your speaker. You probably monitor your phone. All right. Oh, okay. Guys, I can hear the ladies. What's going on, guys? All right. Let's start with you, Bindu. Please start by briefly introducing yourself while we wait for the guys' microphone to come on.
Okay, thank you so much for having us. My name is Bindu Washington, president of the Liberian Association of Northern California, and it is a pleasure to be here on Focus on Liberia.
Thank you so much, and welcome. Let's go to Dr. Sumo Herbert Basha. Dr. Basha, welcome to FOL. A brief introduction, please.
Good evening, Mr. Jar and Liberians in the diaspora. This is Mrs. or Dr. Sumo Babasa. I am the president of the Liberian Association of Metro Atlanta. I'm sorry, people interrupting me with text messages on my phone. That's why in calls, so I have to keep pushing stuff.
Right.
Dr. Sumo Babasa, the president of the Liberian Association of Metro Atlanta. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I'm happy that I'm one of the participants of this program. Thank you. And my 26 for you too.
Right. No, I said it first. Since I have you, let's start with a brief overview. I know, just pretend that I'm not living in Atlanta and tell my audience a brief history of the Liberian Association of Metro Atlanta, LAMA.
Well, Mr. Jar, thank you. And hold on, Mr. Jar, 1 second.
All right.
Give me 1 second.
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are discussing our Liberian organizations and their upcoming events. This is our Independence Day special. We try to bring all our associations here and talk about their association, also their upcoming events. We are having some technical difficulty. Mr. Tucker, you can log out and log back in. I don't see, it look like your microphone is not on. So you are muted. So look at it and unmute it.
I am back, Mr. Jar. Sorry for that interruption. I'm back.
All right. Let's tell me briefly about LAMA.
Well, our organization, LAMA, which stands for the Liberian Association of Metro in 1976. And LAMA has been a blessing to the people of Georgia or Atlanta, Georgia. The purpose of this organization, it was established especially, it's a non-profit and non-partisan organization. And it was founded to service the Liberian population. Right. And the objectives were for unity, peace, progress, social and cultural promotion of Liberians in the diaspora.
All right.
The overview of LAMA for now is that we are moving forward in promoting organizations to service our community. We want to meet the needs of our community, especially the elderly and the young population.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me go to you, Bindu, and tell me briefly about your organization.
Okay. Lance, as we are known, was started in 1986, and really to achieve the following: to assist Liberians within the diaspora to become self-sufficient. It's very important that when Liberians come to Northern California, that they become self-sufficient individuals to encourage and to promote culture and unity. We don't want to forget where we came from, and we want to be unified, unified. To also serve the community while promoting a strong and healthy and positive environment for all. And that means Liberians as well as those in the communities that we live in. And then lastly, to establish meaningful cooperation and communication between the generations, our children, our youth, our adults, and our elderly, and to have functions that will pull us all together as one. Pretty much what we are about.
All right. Thank you so much. And we are still having problem with the audio of our two guests, Mr. Tucker and also Mr. Ketter. So let me go to back to you, Bindu. What are some of the activities that you have planned for this July 26th?
Oh, July 26th is going to be exciting, like always. So, of course, we have our picnic with soccer. We're going to be out cheering our Bay United soccer player team as they face the Leon Stars. Of course, whoever wins is going to get the trophy. So we're excited about that. There are going to be games for the kids. We usually have a dance contest for the children, a jumper, basketball, lots of good food, roasted meat. So that's our picnic event. How can I say it? Members of the community can come and they're free to sell their goods. So if they have dry boni, dry fish, pepper sauce, all those really great items, clothing, they can sell those. And then we're going to have, and that's going to be on July 28th. And on August 11th, we're going to have our Independence Day ball. And that's going to be, we call it I Am Liberia. And so pretty much what we want to do is have functions that will focus on our country, bring people together to make sure there's good food, good music, and that, that the whole community will just come together and enjoy themselves. And so that's pretty much what we have planned. We're keeping the cost down really low, 25 for single if you're 26 and up, and 20 for singles between 13 and 25, 35 for couples, and 50 for VIP. So we want everyone to come out, both Liberians, non-Liberians, our sister communities, to come out and just enjoy the 26 with us and take us back to who we are and why we are here.
All right. While you were speaking, we have your flyer there. Let's go to Dr. Basha. I know it's been a busy weekend for you. Tell me about your events.
Yes, Mr. Jar, you said that right. Very right. It has been a very busy weekend for me. And yesterday, but first of all, I want to say thank you to the Liberian community. They showed up and showed down yesterday on the field. It was very exciting. I started my day off with the community at 7 o'clock in the morning. Left my house for a whole meeting. We had a meeting from the meeting straight on the field to help the planning team set up for the event. We had our July 20th and 6th sporting event yesterday. And there were different counties that had that played. And your own president of the Liberian Association of Metro Atlanta was well dressed for that game yesterday. I played kickball yesterday.
I saw that.
The Lama executive team won the elite women. We beat them 21-4. So that tells you that we're ready for them. And we have vendors on the field. Those vendors were able to donate $50 per table. That would be part of our July 26th budget revenue. And also, we had music on the field. Kids were there. We had good food. We had a lot of good events. And Nima County won the trophy too yesterday. So that's an encouragement too for other counties to partake. The counties that did not partake this year, hopefully they will do next year. Today was the worship service. I just left. That's why I'm in my car with this interview, because after the service, I cannot get home to set up for this. So I'm in this car for this interview. And this week, Saturday, on Saturday would be the ball, the July 26th event ball. And it would be at the Talexin Event Hall in Jonesboro. We have a lot of goodies there. We have guest speakers. Our guest speakers will be kids this year. We have kids representing different counties. They will be speaking on the different counties, telling us about the different counties' culture, the food, when the counties were established, what they stand for, and all of that. All we want to do is to promote our culture. We want our kids to engage in the Liberian culture. Not because we are in the diaspora means that we should forget where we came from. We want them to know who we are. And as I spoke today at the church service, I'm very proud to be a Liberian. If you are not proud to be a Liberian at this time, then there's no reason for you to associate with Liberia. Because at this era, we are Liberians. We need to promote our country. We need to promote our community, and we need to promote ourselves. For the first time ever, Liberians in Georgia will be wearing the same lapas. We have 3 different set of lapas that we have bought and sold on the Laman umbrella, and the community have done very well. I think we have sold almost about 100 pieces of lapas. So Liberians will be out there that they're showcasing their outfits, and we have talent shows. We have just different things. We have culture dancers. Our big sister Fatu Pawan will be performing, and also we just want to say Liberians turn out. Tickets are $25 single, $45 couples, and VIP is just a donation from the executive team. But we are not selling VIP tickets to anybody else, the executive team and the board. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And Mr. Kedah, all right. Now, Mr. Kedah, I can see your microphone sign. Mr. Kedah, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you, Mr. Ja.
Oh,
Thank
wow,
you.
that was tough. Let's start with a brief introduction. I know you are the acting president of the Liberian community of Connecticut.
Yes, I'm the acting president. I've been around for quite a while now with the organization, being vice president under 2 presidents. Unfortunately, the president that was there recently resigned. I happened to get in his place as finish his term. I'm acting as president until his term over in December.
All right. So, Wilton, go ahead and tell me a little brief history of LCAC.
Well, LCAC was founded in 1992. And it was a group of Liberians that felt tired of traveling to Philadelphia and other places where during the Independence Day celebration, people would have big tournaments in Philadelphia, and being Connecticut was very, we had a very small population here. We had no community activity here, so people would travel all the way on that side. So some Liberians got together and said, you know what, we got to do our own thing on this side. And they established the association. And it was just for bringing Liberians together in Connecticut, just having fun, like July 26th, Christmas and stuff like that. Later on in the years, we changed the whole idea, not only to have fun here and there, but to also pick up some very serious issues that we, know affects our community here and back home. So we were able to establish the education committee where we sponsor some students at the University of Liberia, and we have been sponsoring students since 2010. 20 students to be precise at the University of Liberia.
Oh wow, that's impressive. Since we've been having a little more time getting you, so that's why you are in the hot seat now. So tell me about your upcoming events, how you're going to raise funds, what are the projects you have earmarked, or where the proceeds going to go?
Well, we got 2 upcoming events for the year 2018. One year, we do celebrate our Independence Day every year. Our Independence Day celebration, we set it up in like 2 different stages. One was the outdoor tournament, and the next one was the indoor program. So unfortunately for the outdoor tournament, we experienced some unfortunate situation in our community. We lost a brother who was a strong member of our organization, and his family decided to have his funeral on the 28th. And so we decided that, okay, we're going to cancel the outdoor program. So we will be having the indoor program August 4th at the Son of Italy Hall. That this is in Derby, is 72 Derby Avenue in right in Derby. That we're going to be having this program. It's going to start from 7:30 up to 2 a.m. and the admission is $20. It's going to be a cultural dance show. So we just want people to come out and have a great festivity at that time.
All right. Let's go to you, or Bendu. Let's talk about the whole idea. The whole idea of establishing ourselves here as a community in the diaspora. Wherever Liberians go, for some of us who are refugees in Guinea or Ghana or the Ivory Coast, Liberians always come together to do something. Tell me, how is the association there in Northern California? Liberians coming together, are you having success? The reason you came together, is it being realized, or what are some of your success stories?
Okay. Like you say, wherever Liberians are, there's generally good fun, good music, good culture. What we really see in the community here is that people work hard and fight hard to keep our culture and our authenticity, and to make sure that we don't lose it, because the Civil War, of course, and because a lot of people came over to the States, and some can't go back home because of situations that were back home. So a lot of our children, we find, were losing their culture and their identity and the want to identify as a Liberian, which is why we have that whole theme, I am Liberia. So the community here, there's some women groups, of course, there's some men groups. The soccer group keeps us together. Our churches are very focal points because a lot of Liberians go to church. Of course, a lot of them go to the mosque. So just having an organization that can bring all of these different people together. And the more that we live, the more important we see. As a president, as a leader, it is very important, as the whole board, the leadership, is to always look at the people and what's the need for the people and what are the people, the people's need. I will not say that it's easy pulling together a group of Liberians, but the challenges is they're worth it. Getting to know the people, getting to sit in homes, talking, asking, like what is it that you need? What is most important to you? Education, especially for those that came over here that have not had the time to go to school. To Liberians, that they learn how to use the computers. So, establishing the whole computer program was very, very important for us. Making sure that our students have the opportunity not just to go to school, but also to get involved in the community. So when they graduate and they're looking for scholarships, they can write those papers that say, I did this work in the community, or not just the Liberian community, but that I also did work in the outside community. So introducing new foods, introducing new things, like we do a toy drive every year for our kids, establishing the youth wing to give the young people a voice and to also give them outlets. So doing all of that, really brings our community together. And then when people have events, going to those events, we encourage people, go to other people's events and they'll come to your event as well.
That's
So
right.
yeah, so it's very encouraging. It is.
Thank you. Dr. Basser, let me come to you. You are president of Metro Atlanta Librarians in Georgia right here. What's the level of support you're getting from your people, and what are your expectations? What do you want librarians in Metro Atlanta to do as it regards your association?
Mr. John, the Liberians, as I said earlier, that I was very impressed yesterday. And let's move backwards a little. Let's just take a step back. Coming into this administration as the president, my expectations were not at 100% because you and myself know this story, others don't know, but the community was a little divided. So I had some my observation about the community, how can this administration bring this community back to where it was, or even just meeting my goal by 50%. That's all I wanted. That was just one of my short-term goals, bringing the community together, just 50% of the population. And during the inauguration, you saw how over 300 people attended that inauguration. That was just the start, and that kind of motivated me and gave me courage. But when I started on my platform, I was going to visit churches. I was going to mostly engage with the community through churches, through social organizations, because I know that's where most of the Liberians go to socialize and to worship. And that was the our common place of places that we meet. So I started visiting churches. Some of the churches, I would just go there in the morning. I would not call the pastor. I won't say anything, just go there. And they would get there, they recognize me because I would be sitting in the audience, won't even know I'm there, which was, really nice. They would be surprised. And then I started going to social gathering, started making myself very visible in the community and announcing myself to them, because the election, I won on a white ballot. So a lot of people did not take part in the election from a lot of different, they have their own reservations and frustrations. So I had to reach out to them. And that's one of the main things that one of my platform, one of the things that were on my platform. So as I engage in the community, or I'm engaging in the community, they are seeing me and seeing my work and see what I stand for. Communication. As Benu just said, I agree. Communication is one of the key things to being successful. When you communicate clearly, you give them your vision, you tell them where you're coming from and where you want to go. Liberians will buy into it, and when there's clarity and also transparency, they will buy into your project. And that's what I'm doing. And that is why I'm very pleased with the outcome of the life. Yesterday, I was very, very pleased when I saw that crowd on the field. I saw the young people taking part in the sporting activity. I saw the young people engaging with older people. We were all there acting as, somebody came running to me when they heard them announcing my name, that, the DJ said, your president is going to be on the field. Old ladies, sexy old ladies are coming and calling Mema Awaji, calling Hawa Kone, and calling, like the old, I would say the old timer women. People were running, coming, my president, we came to see you making fool of yourself. I said, if that would please you, I am here to make fool of myself, to kick that ball and run and go forward somewhere. And we really had a ball. And that's what I want to do. This is what I want for our community. I want for you to come to me and be able to joke with me on, a professional level. We can engage in dialogues. We can disagree to agree, but there should be some times that we can come together and have fun and just forget about everything, forget about our stress. This is a very stressful country, especially for some of us that work in the medical field. It's already stressful dealing with human lives. And then you come back again to your community to engage with them, and you come to another stressful era. I want Lama to be stress-free. Come there, enjoy yourself. And so that's my vision for Lama. That's my goal for right now. These are some of my short-term goals. And my long-term goals will come later, like engaging into supporting Liberians for Liberian students to get scholarship, making sure that Liberian youths, when they want to go to medical school or they want to be into nursing, that these schools can set aside some, they can give us some spaces to say, okay, these are 2 or 3. I don't know. I don't want to go into depth until it's well discussed because I don't know the legality of that. But I want that to happen, that Liberians should be able to be promoted on another level. Our youth should be able to get into schools that they want to get in. And as I being the president of this organization, I will work with the students to make sure that those goals, that they get the education that they deserve, that they get the education they want, not because they don't have money or their parents don't have money. We have the opportunities. They got scholarships. We have financial aid. We have different grants. All they need is to tap into Lama. There are resources. They can tap into us, and we'll find the resources for them to get into school and do other things that will promote them and promote their families.
Thank you. Let me go to you, Wilton. And Abraham, I still don't see your microphone. It means we will not be able to hear you. That's the problem. So go ahead and look in that same email and call the numbers, or just call directly the number on your screen. I'm talking to you, Mr. Tucker from Staten Island. Call 678-263-8804. Again, 678-263-8804, because I'm not able to hear you. Let me go to you, Wilton. I know Liberian organizations here in the diaspora, not all of people in Liberia don't speak well. Some people in Liberia don't speak well of all of us. They think, well, people in America, they are there just doing nothing. What do you say to people based on your own experience with LCAC? What do you say that is the contribution of diaspora organizations, using yours as an example?
Thank you. Like I said, we sponsor students at the University of Liberia, and when you go on the University of Liberia campus, you find out that our organization, the name is out there, and our scholarship is one of the prestigious scholarship. They're calling to our coordinator, who is Dr. M.S. Dennis, mathematics professor here from the New Haven University. He going back to Liberia to give his service to the educational sector in Liberia. So he's the coordinator on the ground, and we have a big organization down there. Secondly, when the Ebola broke out in Liberia, Connecticut was one of the force behind stopping the spread of Ebola in Liberia. We were able to gather some medical material, almost a container food, and ship it to Liberia. And so we have been making a lot of impact in Liberia, and we are determined to expand our scholarship beyond the walls of the university, and give it to other universities in the country, and even go down to the little kids. So we have a lot of dreams for our country. We are not just sitting here and having fun. We think about Liberia hard in most of our programs. When we raise funds, it's needed for our country. People cannot sit and just say people in the diaspora are not doing anything. And I will encourage them to even seize the opportunity to go to school while we're trying to pay people's school fees in Liberia, to take the advantage, seize the advantage and get some education. Another thing we do here is not only in Liberia, we help our community members. We have a bereavement committee When we have a certain kind of death in the community come together, and really support the family. We take care of the whole repart of the service. And so we've been doing a lot of that. We lost one of our members who had nobody yet, and the community came down together. The community was able to bury her in, her home going was awesome. And, I applaud my community for that. So we also help people coming from Liberia who are sick. There was an NGO that brought a lady here to do surgery. The only thing they asked her to do is to keep her. And they were going to do surgery on her eye. And so our community rallied around. We kept her for the time she was here. She spent almost a year here. And I can give my community, pat on the back that people in Liberia should understand that we are not just here sitting here doing nothing. We are here looking out for them. Even though we're trying to better ourselves too, but we also think about Liberia most.
All right. Our president from California, Bindu. Every organization has its own challenges, and the more we share lesson learned from the things that we go through as organizations and share them with sister organizations, the better we are. What are some of your experiences that you can share with our audience so that what is done in California can be replicated in other parts of America so that we can learn from you? Or what are some of the things that give you a hard time that you want other organizations to avoid? Share with us some lessons.
Lessons learned. Let's see. I think a good thing is what we talked about is keeping communication open and being transparent. Those to me are
the money, right? When you say transparent, you're talking about the money?
The money. Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. Making sure that the money is accounted for, whoever is in charge of the money is trustworthy. That's something that we do here, letting people have access to be able to see what is being spent, what bills, the organizations don't run on their own. You have to pay, the rent. You have to make sure, if you have a place that you meet at, you have to pay all of that. And I think being transparent as leaders, sometimes I think we pretend that leaders, as the leader, I have to be careful what I say, what I do, even how I look at someone if they're talking, So it's been a really good lesson. I think something that we really should watch, and I think I see this across most Liberian organizations, is what I call cliquism. We have to be really careful about the clique. That as Liberians, we don't separate into tiny cliques and then decide, if I don't like this person, I'm not going to go to their event. Let's say whenever someone dies, just like the organizations, we make sure that we send a notice out, the community comes together. So we have to make sure that when the community comes together for number A, they should come for B and they should come for C. So I think that's a good lesson that in organizations, that we keep that communication open. So if we see it, we sit, we talk about it, we do the palaver hut, we sit down. If two people in a community are arguing, that we don't just sit on the sidelines and laugh. If somebody is having problems in their marriage, we don't talk about it, but instead as community leaders, that we go to those people and we try to lend a helping hand, a voice, an ear, and try to solve problems and issues. That we celebrate all of our children, that we don't pick and choose children to celebrate. And I think and that's something that we do here. We celebrate all of our youth. When someone graduates, we go from place to place, from event to event, to make sure that they understand that we are proud of them, that we appreciate them, we appreciate the families. And so those are some of the things that help bring us together, that we push education. We push our children to succeed. We don't just be satisfied. We push our adults to do better. If someone is a CNA today, they don't have to stay there tomorrow. If they want to go further, there will be those resources for them, for housing, for our elderly. Those are some of the things that we do here. Like we have a situation where there's an older person where it's very hard for them to take care of their mom because the county doesn't want to keep paying for them. Well, as an organization, we take on that project and we make sure that we talk to the lawyers, we go to the meetings, we write the letters. We don't just sit on the sideline and let our people fall flat on their faces. And those are some of our successes here. And that's why as a community, we're able to come together and enjoy and have fun, because when there are issues and when there's problems, we come together and we take care of them together.
Thank you. Let me check with Mr. Tucker from Staten Island. Abraham, can I hear you?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Now we have our brother from Staten Island, Mr. Abraham Tucker. Mr. Tucker, it's been a difficult time, difficult getting you on, but we're glad you're on now. So talk to me about, first introduce yourself and talk to me briefly about your organization.
Well, my name is Abraham T. Tucker, the president of the Staten Island Liberian Community Association. For short, it's called SILCA. I've been the president since 2015. Our organization was founded legally in 1984. But prior to that, there were a group of Liberians that were meeting and discussing issues with Liberians in the community and Liberians abroad. So they all came together as a legal entity or non-for-profit in 1984.
And you've been president since 2015. That's
2000.
So it looked like you won second term.
It's something like that, but we are right now gearing up elections. We've been having some difficulties with that, but the process is ongoing.
Great. Talk to me about your upcoming event.
Well, we will be joining many Liberians here in the United States and all over the world, including Liberia, the homeland Liberia, to celebrate our country's 171 Independence Day. Since the day falls on the weekday or working day, Thursday, we will be commemorating that on the weekend, July 28th. So for the event, we got a lot of things lined up. We got sporting activities during the schedule for morning hours or afternoon. Thereafter, we will be going to our own Liberian business. It's called 1847. It's a sports bar owned by 100% by Liberians. So we will be there having our indoor program there. And thereafter, the following day, July 29th on Sunday, we'll be having intercessory service to thank God for our country, our community, and our individual lives at the Trinity Baptist Church. Is also on Staten Island, Broad Street. So that's how we intend to celebrate the Independence Day.
Great. That's wonderful. And so if you just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are discussing with the heads of Liberian organizations here in the diaspora, introducing or telling the community about my audience, about their association, and also telling us about their upcoming events. I see there are some comments on Facebook. One of these is, any of you can pick it up. I know during Ebola, a lot of Liberian organizations help. Now we have floods. So Mr. Thomas Awaji is asking if any community is doing anything about the flood victims in Monrovia. Anyone can pick it up. Oh, hold on, Doctor.
Since that question is coming from Atlanta, Georgia, can I pick it up?
Sure.
Because that question is from one of my executive team member. So, Mr. Awaji, how are you? I'm glad you are listening to your president. because I sent the invitation out. Mr. Well, I saw that on Facebook. You know, I'm a very big advocate when it comes to disasters in Liberia. I watched it, and I have not said anything much or done anything much about it because of the events that have been going on. I spoke to people in Liberia about the flood. I spoke to even pastor, one of our own pastors that just came on Wednesday. He was just talking to us about the flood yesterday and said that he had to go through it when he was around the Roberts Field area. So that's something we're going to be looking into. I don't know the extent of the problem or the destruction, and I don't want to just jump into it and make any kind of comment or make any kind of promises at this point in time. But we will investigate and we'll see what is needed on ground, and we'll be willing to help.
All right. Wilton, Bindu, Abraham, anyone doing anything about floods in Monrovia?
Yeah, basically, we have not packaged anything, but we have been reaching out to families and friends in Liberia, in various parts of Liberia. So we are getting different information, we're monitoring whatever that is going on over there. But in the future, even if we would do something, we want to say in this like that, because the flood today is not something that just happened overnight, but a series of things have been going on in the country. Probably it's causing a problem. So the government and other people in the country, we need to sit down and probably do some critical analysis to come with a lasting solution. In the past in Liberia, when we were coming up there was no such thing like river sand mining. And all of those things that go on, and the forest is being swept on the speeded level just for people to earn living. So all of these things probably affect whatsoever is going on. So we need to look at things that would not undermine, even if the government goes to even build a road, spend millions of dollars. We need to look at other things that would not undermine the progress the government or the community will be making. So we need to look into that. We are very sorry to see what our people are going through, but we will reach out in a way, to help maybe not the whole country, but maybe individual or maybe groups of people. You mentioned Ebola. Our community, my predecessors were very active with the Ebola situation from Staten Island Liberian community. Our community came together and we shaped a continuum there to help victims or survivors of Ebola. So we can also do the same thing, but we just need to get some proper information and people on the ground there to work with it, do such a thing.
Thank you. Oh, Wilton, what? Someone saying something?
I was just going to say, this has been due.
Go ahead, Bindu.
Pretty much the same thing. So monitoring the situation, but then also working with groups that have the president's ear and have the leader's ear in Liberia. So what we do, we try to partner with other groups so that, because one little organization doing something sometimes is not as effective as when different organizations come together. Even like during the Ebola, which was before my time, helping to send container of medicines and equipment to Liberia. So we're doing the same thing as talking to people right now about what's going on the ground as far as the flood, and trying to see what can we do to impact. So, checking with the schools, with the students, do they need help? And if they need help, how can we send money? People that we have on the ground that are doing work on the ground, how can we fund them so that they can have an impact in Liberia? And that's something that we're going to take up at our next first Friday, which the first Friday of every month. we come together to socialize, to talk about social issues, and to come up with solutions on how we can better help our country. So that's going to be one of the topics that we're going to face on First Friday.
Thank you. And this question goes to everybody. Let me start with you, Wilton. As to the inter-organizations, or how do you relate to other organizations, or what do we do together? Because I know almost all of you are part of the umbrella organization EULA. But is there any way, because you see one tree cannot make a forest, is there a way that various organizations like Staten Island or Connecticut, Atlanta, or California can connect? Or is there any way that you work together to accomplish anything at all? Or what are some of the inter-organizations or relationship that exists currently?
I think the umbrella organization or the mother organization is EULA, and over the years I have been frustrated with the action of EULA, and I've been expressing it. Even to some of the former president. This is the time that EULA should be standing up and asking the community, because EULA is how you call it, community members organization, where we got different groups coming together to form that big union. So instead of EULA bringing us together in like these, so we can put out, I don't see us having separate umbrella other than EULA, because if EULA just come up with a statement and asking the rest of the communities around the diaspora, I think it will have more weight. And I always say that advocacy, it should not be only political, it should be developmental, you understand, social and all that. So I think it's about time that EULA do that. As far as LCSC connecting with Staten Island and other organizations around, we could do that, but it will be like undermining EULA effort. So I would just like to talk to the leadership of EULA to take the initiative now to call on the entire organization, the group, to come together. The regional vice president for the southeastern part of this place is from here, Reverend Blamo. So I will also speak with him to talk with the president to see how we can come together as a community to help, because we'll have more weight just for few communities to put little couple together. So that's where we are right now, and like some of the other guests said, we are studying the situation. We have not heard anything other than, oh, there's a flood in Liberia. I mean, how critical it is back there. What are some of the places that were most affected? If we have casualty, or how the damage is, we don't know. So we're trying to assess, and if we can get some confirmation of what is going on there, what kind of help is needed, then we can mobilize our community to do what we have to do. But I think it will be better for EULA to come together at this time and say it's about time that we get involved in the development of our country, and not only intervening politically, get involved in the development. And in such a case, this will be the right time.
All right. Dr. Basil, do you have any suggestion on how these various organizations can work together, either on a project or program, or what other ideas you have, so that, for example, LAMA can work with LCAC or work with Northern California to work on something or achieve a particular goal? Any suggestion?
Yes, Mr. Ja, I'm going to say thank you for bringing up that question. And I think I would be safe if I call somebody named from Georgia who suggested something, and I think it's very important. And he told me it was safe to always quote him when I decided to run the first time. He brought that up, and he's Councilor Aaron Williamson. Councilor Williamson always said that it's very important as leaders of the various organizations, even though we fall under the umbrella of EULA, but we still can have our council. Just like LAMA, all the county leaders have the council of presidents. they can make decisions, and they come to Lama, and Lama can collaborate with them. Why do we not have banks? Why, as Liberians and in the diaspora, we don't have places, we don't have banks in Liberia, we don't have schools in Liberia, we don't have hospitals in Liberia. It always other people are, I won't say foreigners, but non-Liberians going in to do that. We cannot always depend on, we can bring the idea to Lama. And to EULA, EULA is our mother organization. But as organization leaders, we can come together. We can organize ourselves. We can come up with the projects. If EULA doesn't want to buy into the project, we can still do it. I don't think if we come up with the projects and we inform EULA, I don't think EULA is going to say no, we'll not buy into the project when they know very well it will also be promotion for them. EULA is there to collaborate with the organizations. So as Liberian organizations, we need to start thinking beyond, outside of the box. Let's say, as what Bennu said, or Mrs. Washington said, and as the former president, the last president just spoke and said, if we come together as one people, we don't have to come together as little, do things as fractions. But if we do things as a whole, we will see better results. So I am in for it. And I don't think we'll be undermining EULA at all if we organize ourselves, because EULA do have that Council of Presidents, but we have never come together to have our own meetings. We always have meetings. When I'm in a meeting with the president of the board, because I'm one of the assisting executive director of health and social on the social committee, working with Maniva Grant. So if we come together and form ourselves properly and bring up positive things, I don't think that it would be any undermining to EULA. And I think that would be the best thing we can do. So going forward, we can meet, we can talk, and we can do things to promote our own Liberian organizations and our own country. Because I don't see why we don't have banks. I always say that. Why we don't have banks? Why Liberians don't have a whole quarter? Group of Liberians can come together and buy the whole compound. And we promote that compound by having Liberian businesses rent from from the offices or the buildings that were bought. But do we? We have a lot of healthcare and practitioners here. Why they don't partner to have a Liberian healthcare partner so we can be able to treat our own people instead of going outside to get other people to treat our people. We can do a lot of stuff here. All we need to do is to put away our pride and differences, and we can come together and work better. So from this going forward, I think we as the leaders should start looking into coming together as one and bringing ideas to EULA to help EULA, because maybe they're not thinking on what we're thinking, and two minds are better than one.
Right.
Well,
I can see you want to talk.
I sure do. Well, what I was going to say is, what happens is all organizations are not part of EULA, and that's where a lot of the problem comes in. Like Lance, we're not under EULA. Our sister in Sacramento, Athlete, they are. And so we do work on projects together. If anything impacts a Liberian in the Oakland community, I will get a call from the president in Sacramento. If anything impacts someone in Sacramento, I make sure, and I find out about it, I make sure to call them. When there are projects, such as the immigration issue, the DV issue, all of that, we come together, we talk, and we collaborate on how we can help our people. But I think what happens is when you have an agency like EULA and a group is not part of it, then it's like those Liberians are outside. They don't even count. So when issues come up where EULA would maybe contact all of the organizations under them, they'll forget about everybody that's outside of them. And that's really bad. So my suggestion, and which I've said for a long time, We need to have a registry of all the different Liberian organizations. That way, when something happens, we can come together as a group. All the different presidents can come together, get on a conference call, figure out how can we solve these issues. And speaking to Dr. Somo, when she talks about why we don't have banks, why we don't have healthcare, why we don't buy compounds, it goes back to that same thing, the money. We don't trust each other as a people. We just really don't trust one another. So when the idea comes up, let's start a bank, the first question is, who's going to keep the money? Where's the money going to sit? Who's going to have access to it? How do I make sure my money gets in, it doesn't get stolen? And that's really bad, because what we're telling each other is we can't be trusted as a people. And we can be trusted as a people. We just have to start implementing and putting things in place so that no one can steal the money, no one can take away from these different things. So if we realize that everyone doesn't have to be under EULA, but we are Liberians, first of all, no matter which group we're under, what geographic location we're in, whether home or here in the diaspora, we are still Liberians. And that's how we need to start looking at projects and attacking things together, and we'll be surprised what we can accomplish here and at home.
Well, thank you. And if you're just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are discussing the Liberian organizations and their upcoming events. And I want to welcome Reverend Arvin W. Kofa Sr. all the way from Norway. That's my junior high school principal. Mr. Kofa, welcome to Focus on Liberia, and all our guests that I can see. We want to say welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. We will soon be drawing down our curtains. And to my guests here, probably this can be the start of at least the 4 of you coming together, and first of all, having a conversation to start something. See how many Liberians work in nursing homes or group homes. That's where all of us began from. Most of us began from there. But why is it that we don't have Liberian owned nursing homes, as Dr. Basser has said? Why we don't have Liberian? We may have few group homes, but we need more Liberian banks and the whole naya. So maybe this can be the start, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh yes, I agree. I agree, right. And I would love to do that. Thank you for this platform, and you know, if you can share each one of our emails and phone numbers with one another, and then we can take it offline and start seeing what we can do together.
So let's go around the room for our closing statement. I know Abraham, well, you have something, so you can say that briefly and just give us your closing remarks.
Okay, maybe my closing remarks would be probably on the EULA issue. The life of EULA, or the strength of EULA, lies within the Liberian Liberian community. So, like my co-leaders are talking, we all need to come together to support our community, meaning that supporting Liberia. There are suggestions and ideas that can come from the various communities that can even be put on the table of EULA. EULA itself cannot do all. We can bring up ideas and support EULA. So I have the president of EULA in my chapter. He's a very strong man of my chapter. I believe EULA too has some of these things that we're talking about on their agenda already discussing. So in very soon, maybe that issue of the fraud and other issues will be addressed, just as they have been very, very, very visible in other advocacies around the country. All right. So in my closing remarks, maybe from this meeting, we can brainstorm, we can have teleconferences and start talking, because this is our first time meeting. We don't know each other. Sometimes we see some of the names on the internet, but this is a very beginning, a good start. And I want to thank you for the opportunity for inviting us today to discuss our community. So we will look forward to the other leaders and also your program to promote some of these issues that we're talking about. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wilton, your final thoughts.
Well, thank you so much, Brother Ja, for having me in this program again. And it's good to meet the brilliant guests you got on this program too. I hope we can move from here, coming together as a people, one people. And my own intention is not, we are here in the diaspora. We already have it here. The opportunities are here for us, but we got people in Liberia that have been left behind. And I think if we would do Mama Liberia justice is to give what we can give back to Liberia. And that's why I stress we have a great organization here called YOLA. And if we can come together, if we have the leadership that have vision for development in Liberia, we can do exceedingly, great in Liberia. But I think over the years, we have been, as an organization, I'm speaking of YOLA, have been focused on politics more than even development. So we can change the status quo. And I always say that we should not be only advocating for political change, but we should be advocating for developmental change. Our country has been left behind for so long. The oldest African republic, 171 years old, come the 26th, and we have nothing to show. So we being the diaspora are being blessed. We got doctors, lawyers, and just name it. And Liberians got money here. So if even we can, like the flood situation, even we can just start riding around and say each organization, tell your chapter or the people in your place, you'll bring $1. But 10,000 people probably in Sacramento, another 1,000 people or 5,000, they bring $. We can help the people back home significantly. But we need a leadership. We need leadership that have vision for our country. And then I will support it. If you don't have vision and you only want to be have political aspiration, then we can talk. I'm in for development, educational, even structured and what have you. But political, no, I'm not into it, because we have seen over the years the political intervention in Liberia has caused our country a lot of problems. So it's about time that we put on our shoes, our hat for development, and move our country and our organization in the diaspora forward. Thank you again.
Thank you. Dr. Basser, let's come to you for your closing remarks.
Yes, Mr. John, thank you so much. Well, I want to say thank you to Madam Benu, Mr. Tucker, and I did not grab the other one name, but
Wilton Keta.
Mr. Keta, this is the start of a good friendship. Maybe I met you Staten Island for the operation. Maybe one of you that was there, that was in Rhode Island. But I want to say at this point in time, we'll put Liberia first. Our community needs us. Liberia needs us. We have to think Liberia. And as I said, during the earlier part of my speech, I'm very proud to be a Liberian. I'm not ashamed to be a Liberian. I want to, Mr. Jai, you know, that during the Ebola crisis, I was one of those that went to Liberia care as a volunteer, free of charge, pay my own way, did everything under another hospital umbrella. The only thing that did was lodge me. I love Liberia. I love that country. So anything that would promote Liberia, I am for it. That's where I was born. That's the country I know. Even though I've lived here for so many years, but that's my country. And I always tell my kids, I took my son back to Liberia. He didn't even want to come back to America. I had to force him. I threatened him and took him to Liberia. And then he said he's not coming back. I had to force him to come back. So that tells you I'm here, but my heart is back home. But on that note, I want to say, Liberians in Georgia, this is a big event, by 26. We're going to show up and show down on that day at Alex County Hall in Jonesboro. Wear your dancing shoes. Come and listen to your young people speaking to you. Come and see your kids performing. Come and hear them for yourself. Those kids will teach us. They will tell us that what we have been paying for, the school fees or lunch or whatever we have done, our time we spend behind them, has not been put in vain. Come out, show up, support your Liberian community. Whatever we have done that caused you to stay away, I want to say at this time, I apologize on behalf of the Liberian Association. Come back home. We need you. We need you. We want you to be part of this organization. We want to hear from you. We're soliciting you. So I want to say thank you again. Thank you, Mr. Jah, and thank you to the audience so much. I will see you on Saturday. Be there and be on time. Thank you to all the panel.
Thank you, Dr. Basha. Now, there's a message for all of you from the chairman of EULA, Mr. George Toto. He says, EULA is open to work with your good suggestions and your good ideas. So, right, it's happening right here on Focus on Liberia. The chairman is giving a thumb up and is open to your suggestions and your good ideas. Let's go to you, Madam Bendu Washington from the Liberian Association of Northern California. Your final thoughts.
I join the rest of this prestigious panel in saying thank you so much for this opportunity. I too, like Dr. Sumo, my heart is in Liberia. I left Liberia when I was 7. A missionary brought me here. But though she brought my physical body, my heart was still home. So every time I go home, even last year, and seeing the children and seeing the women and seeing the men, the old people walking from sunup to sundown, selling just to get $1, just to get $1 a day is very heartrending. So as much as we're gonna have fun on the 26th, I am hoping that as Liberian people, yes, we come out to the programs, we support so that the money that's raised can go back home to do good back home. That's what it's about. Because at the end of the day, when we get old and we look for a place to live, a rest home is not where we want to be. Home is where we want to go. When we get older, we want to be able to go. We want our children to come to Liberia. We want our young people to come and to support and to develop our country so that we can have a place that we can call home, that we can be proud of. So long live Liberia, happy land. It's our home of glorious liberty by God's command. Amen. And together, if we will come together as a people, there's nothing that we cannot accomplish. In union strong, success is sure. We will not fail. Thank you very much. God bless Liberia.
Thank you so much. And to those watching us, I see Mr. Telly Brown. I want to give you a shout out right there. You're watching. You are watching your man Tucker. I want to give a special thank you to Mrs. Phils D. Vavi. She's constantly watching from Lofa County, from Vanjima, Lofa County. We say thank you so much for watching. Mrs. Veronica Grimes said thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for your education and information. Thomas Awaji is cheering for his president. Dr. Somo, you got a shout out here from Awaji. And all of you watching, we want to say thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you all on the show. Again, Focus on Liberia. We are broadcasting every, Abraham Davantone says you can't do We are broadcasting every Sunday at 6 p.m. We are broadcasting right here from Atlanta, Georgia. Next week or next Sunday, our guest will be Dr. Soma. He will be speaking to us discussing the issue of higher education in Liberia. So higher education, that will be our discussion point for next Sunday. That's 6 p.m. Will be right here, Focus on Liberia. Until then, from all of us here, at Focus on Liberia, we want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for honoring our invitation to talk about your organization. Please continue to talk to us. My guest relations manager, Mrs. Stephanie Setro, please contact her and get your flyers so that we can continue to promote them until your event. This is our own little way of saying happy Independence Day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. John.
Thank you so much.